What's good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live Podcast, episode number 52. Be back in 30 seconds. What's good, Council of Comics? Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live Podcast, episode number 52. We go over all the news, and this week we're discussing Popeye the Sailor Man.
Black is like the brightest day. Where are the heroes? Soon as they get here, everything will be alright. I need a hero. Someone superhuman who can come and save my life.
It's good, Council of Comics. Welcome to the Film and Box Office News Live Podcast, episode number 52 on this September 10th, 2023. I want to thank everybody for joining us. Remember, if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. If you're on the Facebooks, jump over to the YouTubes and be a part of the whole thing. Got a couple comments already. We got Larry say, hey, everyone. Larry just wants to let us know, I really love you guys, and on the first one here. We really love you too, Larry. Thank you.
What's up, Larry?
Larry thought it was wild. He messaged me. He's like, I couldn't believe it, you guys said Popeye, and I was going to tell you guys to do Popeye. So that's pretty great. And Eagles Comics is here. What's up, Eagles? How you doing? Thank you for joining us. And Kamaria says, hey, Council. How you doing? Thank you for joining us. All right, a couple things to go over before we start. Hudson Valley Community Services. We always promote this. Cliff, by the way, is not going to be with us today. He's in Ottawa Comic Con. He just let me know he's not going to be here. So I'm going to take over this little bit right here. Hudson Valley Community Services offers case management support, food and nutrition, testing services, and a bunch of other things for the community. Just go to hvcs.org or hudsonvalleycommunityservices.org and find out which service is good for you that can help you out. We also want to give a shout out to Comics Curing Cancer. They're doing great stuff over there. If you want to donate, go to this website right here. I googled Comics Curing Cancer and it came up, and you can easily sign up and donate here. They are providing for cancer patients in a numerous amounts of ways. My apologies for not really having the specs on it because I didn't know if Cliff was going to be here or not. But Comics Curing Cancer, shout out to them. You can also hit up their Instagram and find out about them. Our favorite shop, this is what we shop at all the time. It's Alterniverse. Oh, that's the council chat. You guys can't see the council chat. That's secret stuff right there. That's the secret stuff.
Secret. Good thing those secrets are exposed right there.
We talk about wild stuff right there. Alterniverse Comics, this is where we do all our filming. We do a new comic book day filming. We go to get our comics. They have tons of stuff. You can find them at 870 Violet Avenue in Hyde Park, New York. You can also give them a call at 845-223-4234. Send them an email at alterniverse2@aol.com or go to the website alterniverse.net, and Anthony will happily talk to you, get your orders in, and all that. That is our favorite comic shop right there. It's our home base. So shout out to them. We have a new thing coming up on September 26th. We want to let everybody know about. We're doing this event. It's called Pop Culture Crash. It's a combination of the Council of Comics and Toy Gaines, our good friend Toy Gaines. We're going to be meeting September 26th. It's on a Tuesday at 8 p.m. at Alterniverse, our comic book shop. There's the address right there on the flyer. And what we're going to do is we're going to have a panel where we talk about specific pop culture items. We're inviting people to come to the shop to be part of a live studio audience where we talk about these things. We're asking you if you want to bring a pop culture item that influenced you in your life, bring that item and we'll speak about it as well. It's going to be a time of fun, memories, conversation, toys, comics, and so much more. This is going to be the pilot of what we're going to try to do. Probably try to do it like once a month or so, but check that out. You can check that out on our Council of Comics 2 Instagram as well. That information. And then also, don't forget, check out our channel, the Council of Comics. We have tons and tons and tons of content. I have been uploading content. So we're kind of set up until the end of the month. We have comic book pickups. We have new comic book day. We have the last few episodes of the Council of California coming out. Episode 9 and episode 10. 10 is an epilogue. It's just little things of me and Kamaria, what we did toward the end. Real fun. There's not even music. It's just us showing. We did a couple things out there to show you. Comic book pickups. We got the skits coming up at the end of the month. That's going to replace the Council of California when it goes off. And the skits is just a collection of all our skits from the comic book day. The first video go up is 1 through 4. The beginnings of our adventures in comedy. We'd be happy if you guys go and check that out.
And vote for us.
And vote for us as well. It's the Comic Book Community Awards.
Definitely vote for us. Hell yeah.
Yeah. You can. Well, I wish I had Phil. Are you able to get the Google Doc, Phil?
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Yeah.
I'll put it
Phil's
up.
gonna put that in the comments so you guys can go to the Comic Book Community Awards. We've been nominated for our best comedic content creator. We'd like you guys to go give us a vote. Give us a vote on our category. We would also like you to vote for Empire Comics for Best Spec Channel. It's being named after him, and it'd be great if he could win the award and get it named after him. Once we get that in the comments, we'd like you guys to go and then vote your hearts out for all the other categories. Shout out to Brian LCS, who's running the whole thing, and also shout out to YoungAtHeartFoundation.com. Good friend Mike came on a few weeks ago telling us about this. It's a great foundation that helps out the kids in the hospitals. You can get yourself a Hope Kit or buy yourself a Hope Kit that gets donated to the kids at YoungAtHeartFoundation.com. Go over there and check them out. Whew, that's a lot. Yep, you see it in there.
Yeah. Did I just post all that?
Is it Cliff?
I thought that was me.
Cliff is ghost posting. Are you posting?
Yeah, did I just do that? Let me do it one more time. Let me see what happens.
That's fine.
Okay,
it's in there. Yeah. And
oh yeah, so I just come under Council of Comics and Alternativerse and Cliff on Comics. Okay.
Excellent. Yeah. And
I'm ghost posted as Cliff.
Nice. And Evo also reminds us Comics Curing Cancers on Instagram. Check them out. All right. So no Cliff today, guys. No Cliffy Cliff. It's all right. It's all right. We can get through it.
It's okay. You got me.
Anything before we start? Anything niche or anything that you guys watched this week?
The Mutant Mayhem, the Ninja Turtles.
What'd you think of it?
I liked it a lot. I thought it was really good. I liked the art style. I thought it was a pretty cool story. It's a pretty cool movie, actually.
Really?
It's like a pretty dope soundtrack too.
Soundtrack's great.
Yeah, like it's a good movie. It was fun. And it was definitely fun for like Ninja Turtles. This was fun.
I heard a lot of good things about Ninja Turtles. Is the art like Spider-Verse?
It's similar. It's a little grittier.
Different. It's a little different than Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse might be like a little bit, but it's not kind of like they went for like a comic book style art, I think, as like Spider-Verse did. Spider-Verse might be a bit more polished, you know.
Right. But the Turtles is a street level story, so it works because it's a grittier, it's a grittier story.
Right. Larry says 2 thumbs down on the Ninja Turtle movie. Oh, whoa, Larry. Larry was not a fan of the Ninja. Worse than Spider-Verse.
Larry doesn't like.
No.
Larry apparently doesn't like 80s hip hop in his soundtracks.
I don't know. He liked Transformers.
Hmm.
Well, that had 90s, right? Was Turtles has 80s stuff in it?
Yeah,
it's like
all.
Yeah, it's
there's a little bit of 90s, I think, too, but it's a lot of 80s.
All right. Me and Kamar just been binge watching Big Bang Theory. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Classic TV show. that
I'm working my way through Castle again. So I'm
Castle
like,
is on
it's a old ABC show where there's a writer who it starts off. It's a writer's trying to get reference or whatever you want to call it to write. He writes mystery novels, so he starts working with this precinct to follow them around to solve murders, and then it's procedural, and then, there's more stuff that goes on with that than that. But that's the basic crux of the story.
All right.
But Nathan Fillion's the main character. I'm trying to think who plays Richard Castle, the writer. There's a bunch of actors in it. It's good though. What about Ahsoka this week?
Speaking of Ahsoka.
The big spoiler alert.
Our first topic. Probably our only topic.
I thought last week was a little bit of a dip, to be honest with you, but this past week's was amazing.
Hold on one second. Larry says, no, I didn't care much for the story. I did like Ice Cube's character. The soundtrack was dope. The origin with them always gets more absurd.
Well, the whole story's absurd.
I mean, it's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Larry. What do you want? The ooze, The secret of the ooze. They don't get much more absurd than that. But Ahsoka, episode number 4. I declared in the council chat, the greatest Disney Star Wars episode ever.
I don't know about that. That's a big...
I don't know about that, but
all right, so
it's good.
It was a dope episode, and honestly, like they had like 2 cool lightsaber fights going, and there was a couple spots in the lightsaber fights. I'm like, that's a comic book cover right there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, it was dope.
And she's dead, right?
No.
Well, let me put it this way. She will not stay dead, but at the end of the episode, she's dead or dying, correct?
That's a tough one to answer.
Yeah.
How is she talking to a dead Jedi who's actually...
because have you seen
who
Rebels?
Who said to her no less,
have you
you're
seen
here
Rebels?
sooner than I thought?
Have you seen Rebels?
I haven't finished Rebels.
Did you see the episode where Ezra saves her in Rebels?
No, I'm like I said, it's 5 seasons? I think I've watched 2 and some change.
So for everybody that's watching out there, at the end of Ahsoka episode 4, Ahsoka finds herself in the world between worlds. This was a place that originated in Star Wars Rebels. And in this world, it's a place that exists that all events in Star Wars history are happening at the same time in this place. And there are little doorways where you can peep into everything that's happening. So what's happening in The Rise of Skywalker is happening at the same time as Empire Strikes Back. It's happening, all the things are happening all together at once. And Ezra is watching the battle between Ahsoka and Vader that happened in the previous episodes of Rebels, and he reaches in and he pulls her out to save her, and he pulls her into the world between worlds and saves her life. That's possibly what could have happened here. It's possible that Anakin pulled her into the world between worlds before she fell and smacked into the water or something like that. Is that really Anakin? For those of you that haven't watched it, spoiler alert, Anakin Skywalker shows up at the end of this episode.
I'll say this for Hayden Christensen. He did a pretty good job in this, but he looks like he had some medical issues. He didn't look well.
Well, that's de-aging. He's been
I
de-aged
don't know,
for the
man.
episode.
He looks like you ever see someone, and I hope this isn't the case, but you ever see someone who clearly had a battle with cancer, they're back to their healthy self, if you will, but there's something in the eyes and there's something with the skin on their face. It looks kind of almost like it was taut and now it's loose again. I don't explain other than that. I hope that's not what it is, but it looks like.
I think he looks better than how he looked in Obi-Wan.
Oh,
I like how he looked in Obi-Wan, where he was like now the very much older.
Yeah,
like older.
But it was
Padawan.
Weird because he's old.
He was older than he was in like
episode
3, which was a little bit weird.
Yeah.
Like,
so let me give you my theory. Here's my theory on what's going on here. For those of you that watch Rebels, you know at the end of Rebels, Ahsoka shows up like this. Ahsoka the White, and it mirrors the scene in Ahsoka where she comes to pick up Sabine, and Sabine's cut off her hair. She touches the mural, and they go off to find Ezra. In the Rebels show, that same scene is exactly the same, except she shows up in this garment, which people call her Ahsoka the White. And people thought, well, that's strange. Why would Filoni and them like change the continuity and all that for this? Because she's totally not wearing the white uniform in this. When she shows up in the live action, she's wearing her regular uniform. My theory is that Ahsoka, now being in the world between worlds, she will become Ahsoka the White in this place, and she will come out of a portal and she will redo everything you've just seen in this episode. She will show up as Ahsoka the White, picking up Sabine, basically kind of like a time travel, I guess, but she will go back and now she'll show up like this, and so it's not a continuity error.
I hope not.
You know what I mean? That's my theory on it. I think that's really Anakin that she's seen. I think Anakin also got pulled into the world between worlds, but this is Clone Wars Anakin because he still has the robot hand. It's not Force Ghost Anakin, because we've seen Force Ghost Anakin in Return of the Jedi, and he has the Jedi robes. So I believe he's been pulled out of his timeline. She's been pulled out of the timeline, and I think the next episode is just going to be them trying to figure it out.
I hope not.
And I think that Anakin's going to see what he becomes, and this will connect with the original trilogy. Trev, the shipping guru, is on. He says, afternoon, Cliff in the council. Cliff's not here. Cliff's in Ottawa, but he's here in spirit. He's here in spirit.
What's up, Trev?
And this will be the moments where Darth Vader is like, I must obey my master, because he knows how things turn out, and he has to go through his whole dark thing, destroy the Emperor. I think he's gonna see what he becomes, and that's why he clings to it afterwards, because there's a lot of times where Vader is like, I cannot turn on my master, I cannot do this. Like, why didn't he let Luke kill the Emperor on the Death Star? Remember when Luke went for the sword and Vader blocked it? Why did Vader block that? He could have just let Luke kill the Emperor right there. They both could have teamed up on him, but he didn't. He blocked it, like as if he has to do it himself, and he has to be the one to do it later on. But that's just my theory. That's just my theory.
I hope that's not it, because I think I've seen enough time travel nonsense in the last few years that I'm done with that for a little while. Yeah. Unless it's done really well. I mean, I will reserve if it's done really well. I'll eat my words next week, but I really hope that's not what it is.
There's also a theory that that's not Anakin, that's the son from the Mortis gods. Trev the shipping guru says, kind of like Doctor Strange in Infinity War. Yep.
Or what if it's the what's his name that we oh no, he died. That's right. Never mind.
Yeah, there was the Mortis gods, which is daughter, the father. This is in Clone Wars, and the son actually lived, and he used to take people's shape and form. And some people say that this might be him taking shape and form.
Well, I was gonna say it was the guy that they were fighting, but then he turned into that green gas and was gone. So it can't be him.
Yeah. But great episode. Like, what are some of your favorite parts of this episode?
I mean, the lightsaber battles are pretty great.
Yeah, the lightsaber battles.
Did you like it when she jumped off the rock? When Shin jumped off the rock,
I thought was weird,
she did a little hop like dunk. I was like, okay.
When she pulled the
I liked it when Ahsoka slammed. I thought Ahsoka killed that girl, like when she slammed her into the rock. Oh, yes. I thought she just killed her. Like, oh, that was some dark side force right there. She hit her with it.
Yeah, because he thinks Sabine's dead. Really. That's why she's, you know what I mean? She's doing
Yeah,
that.
so I thought she killed her, like just boom, concussion dead.
And Ray Stevenson's bass, Balin Skoll, he's something new. He's something different because he's not. I guess he's bad, but he has honor as well. You know, he says, you know, give me that map thing, and you know, I'll take you with me to go see Ezra.
Because he's using her.
Yeah.
He's not. You know, he's at least owning or not owning up to, but fulfilling what he said. But he was totally using her to do that.
Yeah.
If she said no, he would have found another way and been like, okay, well, I'm killing you.
Yeah.
Sabine should have just shot him, but that's me. Explain to me though, when Ahsoka grabs the globe out of the map,
mm-hmm.
it's it's burning or she drops it, but yet then when they pick it up like 2 seconds later, it's no big deal.
I guess it was just hot.
It cools down that fast.
I think what it was though, it was the magic that was burning, the Night Witch magic that was burning. That was a little Easter egg, I guess, for Indiana Jones and all that. Like some theories are that the map has been burned onto her hand, the part of it. So maybe that'll be a way that they can get to where they're at. Sabine, I thought Sabine did with. What would you do? Let's put the question towards you and put the question toward everybody else. What would you do? Would you have given him the map?
No.
Not even if say it was a loved one, your wife or your girl. Phil, you're muted.
Yeah, I'm thinking she might have been outgunned right about there. Like I don't know if she had much of a choice for survival and stuff. And I think she's right where she needs to be. Like you know, she is right with the enemy on the other side. So
yeah, I think that was the smart thing to do.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it was the smart. Oh, it's just me and you, Phil.
I
think it was a smart thing to do because if you destroy it, you never get to find Ezra again. You never get to. Yeah, they say that Thrawn won't be able to come back, but you're dead because as soon as you shoot that thing and blow it up, those two are gonna kill you, so you're dead. So the smart thing is like, yeah, let me give this to him and let's go off to this other place and see what they're talking about. Maybe she can destroy something on that end. I thought it was the right move.
Yeah, I think it was the right move. Pretty sure guy's coming back.
Yeah. Pretty sure guy's on his way back from Baltimore Comic-Con.
Hold on, I'm here. I'm here. You got me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, my audio cut out. That's why I left and came back.
All good. Moving forward though, like episode 5 is being shown in some theaters. It's being directed by Dave Filoni. It's gonna be about a 45-minute episode. It's rumored. I saw a picture. I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but I saw a picture of Ahsoka and Darth Maul.
Oh.
And Darth Maul was dressed up like he was at the end of Solo.
Okay.
The Solo movie.
Yep.
He was dressed up like that, and they were in like the desert, and there was Rosario Dawson, and the guy who played Darth Maul was right there in front of her. Some people were like, "Oh, it's like a fan thing." I'm like, "Nah, it looked a little too good to be a fan thing." So they're saying in the next episode, she's just gonna go through a whole bunch of scenes throughout. She's gonna end up on Mustafar with Anakin. She's gonna fight Darth Maul. She's gonna be in a whole bunch of different scenes, and she's basically gonna go through her thing, her final steps of becoming the true master or whatever. But I look forward to that. Like I said, my opinion, it was one of the greatest episodes from Disney Star Wars, not Star Wars in general, but Disney Star Wars. I feel like it put it right back on track, and I'm happy that we got to see it. And Shin Ha-Ti, she's phenomenal.
She's great. She's my new favorite.
Yeah, I can't wait to see where she leads to. I think she might end up betraying Balin.
That's my call. I called that
Yeah.
last week, I think.
Yeah, and rest in peace to Ray Stevenson. But I kind of, when he passed, there wasn't a big thing made about like, oh, who's gonna play him in season 2 or stuff like that. So I kind of got the feeling that his character kind of dies at the end of this somehow. So
Well, and maybe too, they didn't want to give too much away because the show hadn't been released yet. So like, well, we don't want
Yeah.
to ruin what he is yet. So let's,
Yeah.
we can't even really talk about it. That thing.
yeah, and I thought that hyperspace jump was dope.
Yeah,
That was cool.
That was pretty cool. You got to see live action.
killed a lot of people
Hera.
though.
Yeah, he took down 3 ships with that. It was kind of reminiscent of the Holdo move from Last Jedi.
It's funny you say that because I was thinking that.
Yeah. The Holdo move was
Except-
on a bigger level, but
Well, and Holdo didn't tell anybody what she was doing
yeah.
for no reason,
Yeah.
and was a jerk through that whole movie.
So great episode. You guys should watch. All right, let's move on to the box office. Where we at here? Box office news. This week in the box office, The Nun.
None two.
Nun 2 making its way to the number 1 spot. 32 million. I swear, this is Blumhouse, right?
I believe
It's
so.
got 85 million worldwide. They're killing it. They're killing it. They're Blumhouse has become the kings of the horror.
That's like the
For this generation, anyway.
Well, that doesn't take much though, and
The what?
that's not taking anything away from them.
like the Annabelle universe, and what is that? Well, what is that like universe that Annabelle is in?
I was gonna say is it's not like the big studios are making those movies anymore. So all it takes is that you have one and then you stick
Right.
with it.
Oh, it's The Conjuring. That's what it is. Yeah, I think it's that universe.
Yeah, it's in
Like
the
whole
Conjuring universe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, they make them for like 20 million. The movies
that.
make about like 100 to 150 million. It's just profit.
But it's also good horror. Like they got their horror game on point.
I
Well,
have
think about
not
this,
watched
too.
horror in so long.
Think
The
about how much
Conjuring
money you
is
save
good.
on lighting.
Yeah.
Annabelle is good. So yeah, I haven't seen The Nun yet. So they do make some good horror movies.
That's great. The Equalizer drops from number 1 to number 2, pulled in 12 million, dropped 65%. My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3
I actually want to see that.
pulled in 10 million. Jawan, I don't know what this is.
But
A high-octane action thriller which outlines the emotional journey of a man who is set to rectify the wrongs in the society.
that's
okay.
gotta be fun.
Yeah, that's fun. But it pulled in 7 million and it got itself to number 3. I'm sure or number 4. They're bragging about that. Barbie still pulled in about 6 million. It dropped 42%. Blue Beetle pulled in about 3.7. Gran Turismo pulled in about 3.3. These all dropped only about 42 to 48%. Oppenheimer's still up there at number 8, pulled in about 3 million. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem comes in at number 9, pulling in about 2.6. Bottoms pulls in about 2. Meg 2, The Trench, pulls in about 1.2. And then finishing them all out, we have Talk to Me, Strays, The Hill. Haunted Mansion's still in there.
That's number 15.
Yeah, still
Steak.
making some money. Mission Impossible still making some money. Golda, Elemental, Aristotle, and Dante discover the secrets of the universe. We're heading into the depths over here.
Yeah.
Indiana
Indiana
Jones
Jones.
still pulled in $57,000, and it's still in 100 theaters.
Hey,
So it's not bad. Yeah. Little Mermaid's still making money. 9,000.
That's
Little
on Disney
Mermaid's still in
Plus.
45 theaters. Still in 45
That's on Disney
theaters.
Plus.
Wow. Yeah. All right. That's the box office for this week. Not a huge box office this week. Nothing crazy to talk about. I guess fans of The Nun and that universe, they're real happy about it right now. The Equalizer fans with Denzel Washington. There is a rumor that they are planning to make a prequel using his son as his character for the next film. So that's giving it some excitement. But yeah, that's the box office. All right. It's been a slow since the strike.
Yeah, I think the strike is now starting to affect it. Like, we're gonna have a slow start to the fall TV season. We're gonna have I don't think there's much coming out in the box office, really.
And then
Like,
both sides have dug in their boots. You know what I mean?
yeah.
The actors are not looking to stop anytime soon. The studios are just like, yeah, we're gonna let them go until they have no money. They're gonna make them lose their houses to make them come back. And it's just a gritty industry. It's sad that it has to come to this, that people can make hundreds of millions of dollars, even billions of dollars, and just not give a care to the well-being of people who make your industry run, who help your industry run, that you could look down upon them so bad and not want to pay them. Kamaria says, I read Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Such a good book. It's strange, I've never seen a trailer for that movie. So she also said, didn't know they made a movie though. It's a great story. I'd like to see it. Yeah, I didn't know either, but it does have my interest peaked. All right, so let me change this up and let's get into our main topic of the day. It's everybody's favorite part of the show, where we go over the homework that we give to the council all the time. And the homework this week was to watch a Robin Williams film from 1980. And Toy Gaines actually let me know this is the first live action adaptation of a property. And this is Popeye, 1980, directed by Robert Altman, written by Jules Pfeiffer and E.C. Seeger, starring Robin Williams, Shelley Duvall, and Ray Walston. Well,
starring is
Go
is tough because Ray Walston is Poppy. It's not even Bluto.
Poop Deck Pappy.
Pappy's in the movie, what, 10 minutes?
Well, let's put it this way. Robin Williams looks like Popeye.
I was going to say, if this was a cosplay, they had it down for how everybody looked. Like, the costumes were just so on point.
One of Shelley Duvall's greatest performances, I think, because she was olive oil to the T.
Yeah.
To the
super
T.
annoying, but yeah.
Yeah, but olive oil was annoying in the cartoon as well. But this is basically a story of Popeye, played by Robin Williams. He's on the hunt for his pappy. He's looking for his pappy, and he had a vision, I guess, while he was on a boat that his pappy was in this town. So he came to this town, and he's looking for his pappy, and he ends up finding a room at Olive Oil's house for rent. And Olive Oil's engaged to Bluto. And
Right.
she's trying to tell everybody Bluto's this great guy. Deep down, she really doesn't believe it. But she ends up walking out on
Well,
him.
he's large.
He's large and he's tall.
He's got the best, but he's large.
And he's tall. I
He's
like
all
the music.
mine. The music was actually pretty good.
I like the music in this. Some of it was like off. I was like, I like this.
I
like-
actually like Bluto's song. I mean, you know what I mean?
I mean, you know what I mean. After he destroys the house.
Yeah.
Jeez. Pluto Olive Oil stood him up and he just destroys their house. He's a very like you can say Olive Oil's a victim. You can say that. She's kind of a victim of some kind of like mental abuse and stuff like that. 'Cause
She's
Pluto's
an enabler.
Pluto's horrible. During the movie, Popeye and Olive Oil, somebody switches baskets or something on them, and they end up getting a little baby along with them, Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea's a classic character from the cartoons. There's always Popeye, Olive Oil, and Sweet Pea, and Popeye becomes the foster father of Sweet Pea, and they come to find out that Sweet Pea has some kind of ability to pick the right horses, pick the right things. So Wimpy, you know, if you guys ever heard of, you know, I gladly pay you Tuesday for a hamburger today. Uncle Wimp, the Popeye calls him. He ends up taking Sweet Pea to the tracks, to the racetracks, and you think it's like a real racetracks, but what it is, it's like these mechanical horses that race.
I think, and I could be wrong, because I was watching it, and that's what I thought at first. But then thinking about it, I think what that is they, you know, not everybody could go to every single race, so a lot of it would have been off-track illegal betting, right? So what it is they're doing the crank, but they're doing it to an actual race somewhere, so the real horse wins, and then, you know, does that make sense?
Oh, okay.
But they're listening to the radio feed of a track somewhere. I could be wrong. That's what I thought at the end.
Very true. And I guess what happens is that Bluto finds out that this baby is psychic, so he kidnaps the baby, kidnaps Sweet Pea, and he brings him to where the Commodore is. And come to find out that the Commodore, the hidden guy, is Popeye's Poop Deck Pappy. It's his father. And I thought Poop Deck Pappy was hilarious. He's like, I ain't got no kids.
Ain't nothing but trouble, kids.
It was very touching though when Popeye, like the Robin Williams acting came out of him, like when he's seen his father, and he was like, Papa. He's like, oh, Papa. Like it was very, very touching. But Pute Pappy was like, I'm not your daddy. Da, 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 da. He's like, I know how to figure this out. And he's like, see that can of spinach? He's like, what can of spinach? He's like, eat that spinach. And Papa's like, I don't want to eat the spinach. He's like, you were a pain in the butt as a kid. You never listened anyway. You don't listen now. So he kind of figures out that is his. I mean, they have the same forearms. They have the same. You got the same forearms. We got the same eye.
Same squinty eye. I don't got a squinty eye.
I got a squinty eye. And he goes, we got the same pipe. He's like, you can't pass down a pipe. And he ends up teaming up with his son to go after Bluto to get Sweet Pea. And then they have that big fight with the octopus at the end.
Which he punches right in the eye.
Yeah, I thought the octopus looked really good.
Until he punches it, I agree.
Yeah.
Because then it looked like a balloon. I'm like, all right, it's fine. But...
Yeah. But it has all the classic tropes of Popeye with the spinach. At the end, he's fighting Bluto. And Bluto is like, you don't want to eat your spinach, huh? And he makes him eat the spinach. And it ends up Popeye becoming super, super strong, which he's already super strong. If you notice throughout the movie, like with the piano thing. Remember when he's picking up at the end, and then he pushed the piano, and the piano went all
the way back up.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, he's already super strong. He beat King Kong Bundy. You guys remember King Kong Bundy from the WWF? He played that big guy in the ring. And this right here, this fight right here. There's a shot of Shelley Duvall as Olive Oils. The costumes are right down to point too. They're really good. But overall, I enjoyed this movie overall.
Overall, I did too, and I think it's aged. Like this is one that has it. It's like aged better over time too.
Yeah,
I could see this being aging a little bit better over time, and being a little bit of like ahead of its time with what they were doing. Like, take like making a movie of like Popeye and having it come out this good is pretty impressive.
Yeah. They got the mannerisms down. They got the way Popeye talks down. He always talks to himself in the cartoon, like, I don't want to, and they get that down. Robin Williams did an amazing job in this movie. Did amazing. Little hard to understand sometimes what he's saying.
Yeah, but that's
in the
movie.
Cartoons
like that too.
Yeah, the cartoons like that as well. I thought it was great. What green shirt guy? Give me some of your feelings on this.
I thought it was okay. I remember loving this movie as a kid, so there's a lot of it that I remember. I haven't seen in forever. I think it aged fairly well. I don't think it was great, but as far as an adaptation of a comic book strip, I think they got all the characters. There were two scenes that did make me laugh. The scene where he's at dinner or at the house and he talks that woman's mink and then it hisses at him.
Oh, yeah.
That made me laugh hysterically. And then the part where they finally catch up and they're at the horse races, and Olive was like, "That's horrible. You can't use a baby for this." And he's like, "We want $120." She's like, "How long you been here?" He's like, 2 races. She's like, "Whoa, hold on a second." That made me laugh a little bit, but it was fun. I think my kids would enjoy it. I would, they didn't watch it this week, but it was okay.
Infinks. What does he call it? Infinks?
Yeah.
You
can't use an infink. You got a room for rank?
You got a room for rank?
You owe me an apology.
I am what I am.
No, you remember the dad? You owe me an apology. You don't like our knives? They're not sharp enough for you?
Yeah, and then at the end he says to Papa, I think we owe him an apology.
Yeah, that's right.
Phil, what do you think overall?
Overall, I enjoyed it. Like I said, I think it aged a little bit better than I thought it was going to, and I think they pulled off. They pulled off something kind of special. It didn't do very well, and looked at it was looked at as a bad movie at the time. But now I think it's going to be looked at as a pretty good movie. It was definitely an experimental movie that paid off, I think, over time.
Yeah. They never did anything else with Popeye. This is literally the only live action they've ever done with Popeye.
I don't think they even did a cartoon after this, right? The show was on, but I don't think they never did. They never did a cartoon movie. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, no cartoon movie, but they did another cartoon. Yeah. This scene was funny when he's using him as a punching bag.
Yeah,
the whole fight was pretty crazy. That was a good
How about where Olive Oil is checking him into his room and destroys it? You can't put that there. Don't put anything on the bed. Don't touch this. And she breaks it.
Oh.
There's a lot of good slapstick comedy in here of stuff like
that. Yeah.
Or the taxes guy. There's tax on everything.
Yeah. Got a moving in tax. Got a eating tax. Moving out tax.
A traffic cop tax. Hold under the dock tax.
Yeah. He's like, everything's a tax. Everything's a tax.
It's good. You got to pay him his exact change, too.
Wimpy. Oh, I thought he was a great realization of the cartoon movie. Did him very well. Legend. Remember, he's got the guy in there. He's like, you don't want it. He's like, that's not a burger. You don't want to eat that, right? That's not
Well,
a
that's
real
and then the taxi guy comes by and goes, filtering tax, 1 burger.
Oh man.
Sweet Pea. The baby was adorable.
Yeah.
The baby was adorable. It was always on point. He was always on point. Like when they had like scenes and stuff, like the baby always reacted the way it's supposed to react. You can see some of Robin Williams like ad-libbing in there when the baby took the paper and he's like, "Oh, you gonna take it back, huh?" Oh, Sweet Pea. Baby was great.
Yes, I'm going this one.
Um.
Turn it off. It's making my phone.
So, Popeye the Sailor Man.
Popeye Sailor Man. I think it was like the first movie I saw on HBO as a kid.
That was all right?
Yeah, I think this was like the first movie I saw on HBO. I remember watching.
It came out in 1980, but I remember watching it when I was like maybe 6 or something like that, 6 or 7. So it had been like 1985, 84 or something like that I was watching it.
All right.
One of Robin Williams first, Popeye.
It's on point. Like, yeah, the characters look the part. Like so accurate from their cartoon.
And I honestly wouldn't want them to make another Popeye. Because this fits. I couldn't see them doing another Popeye.
Well, I don't think it's because this is so good. I think it's more nobody's asking for it.
Yeah, Popeye is one of the older characters, and
I could see more Popeye cartoons. Just keep it with the cartoons. Like, make more Popeye cartoons.
He's the Sailor Man.
I am what I am.
I am what I am. All right. So that's Popeye the Sailor Man, guys. What do you guys think? Did you watch it? Leave in the comments below. Let us know what you think. It's one of Robin Williams' very first films.
I think I'd give it like a 7. I think it would overall be a 6, but it kind of squeaks in with a 7. It has a lot of charm. It has a lot of, like I said, a lot of stuff that actually aged like pretty well.
Yeah, I give it a 7 as well. I give it a 7. What about you, Green Shirt Guy?
I'm gonna be the bad guy. I'm gonna give it like a 6.5.
Ooh. Okay.
It's watchable. It's not great. It's watchable though.
It's definitely watchable. All right. Did we decide what we were gonna do for next
Lady
week?
Hawk. We were gonna do
Lady
Hawk,
Hawk.
but we held off to do so Cliff can be back for it too.
All right. Lady Hawk next week. You know what we should do though? We should do like some horror movies for October. And I thought of one. I thought of Christine, the John Carpenter movie. We had
Christine?
John Carpenter on. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever seen Christine.
you can do that. So we'll do Lady Hawk next week. So you want to do that for October? You mean, Phil?
Yeah, like some October movies, like some horror movies, maybe.
October, we'll get into the horror of it.
Yeah, get into some horror flick.
Do we want to do Friday the 13th?
Which one? The first one or the?
Friday the 13th classic.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th. We got Chucky, Child's Play.
Yeah, like the Night of the Living Dead.
I'd watch those. I watch those. I love the second one, especially
Larry
the updated
says.
I missed, but the song at the end is my song where he's like Popeye the Sailor Man.
Trying to get these comments up here, but my computer's acting weird. Hold on, Larry. I'm trying to get your comments up here. Because, even though I'm wired in,
still
acting,
Sure,
acting funny. Larry says, sorry I missed it, but the song at the end is my song. Yeah, the Popeye the Sailor Man song is dope at the end. That is a good one. Larry says Humanoids from the Deep.
Ooh.
What movie is that?
Doesn't sound like
Is that an old school? That's got to be old school. Whack Comics is in the building. What is good, my friend? Hold on, I'm trying to get your comment
Oh
up
yeah,
here.
yeah. He knows
Hello, everyone.
a 1980
What up, Whack?
movie.
Nice. Whack Comics, thank you for joining us, my friend. Whack is also nominated for Best Comedic Content Creator. He's also doing a thing where he's trying to get all of us together to do a compilation video, which means we have to do an extra skit. We have an idea for that, and we'll see how we get that done. Larry says, "Don't worry, I got horror movies for you. Just wait till October." All right. Let me see. What else did he say? So you never hear the other half of that song. You really don't. You have to get like the album. Find the soundtrack somewhere and you'll probably be able to hear it. Wax says, talking about songs, when are you uploading the song from your intro in full?
Everyone loves that.
It's funny because I actually put the full song on one of our videos. I'll send you the message. I forget which one I did. Cliff remembers it.
Oh, it's the
The
Alternicon too.
Alternicon 2. Okay, so Whack, if you go to the Alternicon 2 video, you'll hear the full song on there. I play the whole song. And I'm working on putting the song up on iTunes. I'm working on that. Gotta do some things for that. It's gotta do some things.
All right.
But we're working on that to get up there. And Whack is like, I need it. Whack, if I told you how old that song was, oh my God, you'd lose your mind if you knew how old that song was. And Larry says, yes, old school. Okay. All right, we got a few minutes before we're up. Anything interesting on the horizon?
Did you get anything good at Comic-Con?
I saw a bunch of people. I got some stuff that I was kind of thought I was going to get. So like there's people that I know that I bought stuff from this year. I didn't really buy anything crazy from other people. They do a yearbook every year that's themed on one of the guests. You know, something they worked on. I for the life of me don't know what this property is. But there was 91 pages that you could get signatures of people, and I got 86 of them or something like that. But there was like 3 or 4 people that weren't there. One guy, pulled out last minute because he was sick. So I got just about everybody. And like I said, I talked to some people, and I got us a guest, for coming up. We'll save who it is so we can make it a surprise. But yeah, it was good. I had a good time. I went to a portfolio review with a DC artist. That was fun. What else did I do? Yeah, so yeah.
Wax,
saw Demetrius from Black Box.
Nice. So was Demetrius. Wax says, I can't wait to see what you guys do with that collab. All I can say about it, it was a skit that we were going to do a while ago, and we ended up not doing it.
Out.
Yeah, but we're going to bring that back because it fits perfect with the theme.
And we got a surprise too with that. Don't tell him.
No, I'm not going to tell him that. There's a surprise in there for that. Wax says, who is singing in that song? Funny that you say that. I used to be part of a band called I'm Awake. And it was a fusion of hip hop and rock. And we did a lot of songs. And that was one of the songs that we did. I was the rapper on there. James Bador is the guy singing on there. He was the lead singer and the guitar person. And we were just sitting in the studio one day, and I had wrote out a hook and all that, and I wrote out lyrics, and he was like, this is awesome. So he went and wrote out the music for it and how it would go, and we recorded it that night, and it came out like you hear it. It's pretty good. That's a story on that. Whack also says, I played in a few bands in my 20s. I got a few recordings around, still in one band, but we don't do as much as we did pre-COVID. I feel you. Yeah. Like I said, I was in the band. We're good friends, me and the rest of the band, but a couple guys split and did their own thing. But we still talk. We're like brothers. It's still cool. We still do a little side music on the side, so it's pretty fun. Larry says October start of watching Night of the Living Dead 1990. I know the original's classic start with the remake. My favorite Night of the Living Dead is Return of the Living Dead, the old 80s movie.
I don't think I've seen that one.
That is my favorite one.
The one with the old black and white one, the original. Like,
I like that one too, but this was like the sequel to that, like 30 years later.
I'm partial to Day of the Dead, where they're stuck in the mall, and the updated one's great.
The Zack Snyder, isn't that Zack Snyder? I think
it might be. That's, you know what? You're right. It might be, but I like that one, and it's got, and they bring some of the actors from the original back into it.
That's Dawn of the Dead. Yeah, I think it's Dawn of the Dead. That's what it is. Yeah,
oh, maybe it is Dawn. You might be right.
We've got a new one here. It's Joseph Michaels. I don't think he's new. I've seen his name before. He says, "Hey gang, the Adventurers Joe. What's good, Joseph? How you doing? Thank you for joining us tonight. We appreciate you." Whack also says, "Would be keen to chat music and comics with you sometime." Definitely. We gotta have you on, Whack. We're gonna talk more in the DMs and all that. Let's see if we can get you on the show, man, because you do great stuff. Larry says part 1 and part 2, Return of the Living Dead. Yeah, those are my 2 favorite ones. They're a little over the top, but they're the first ones that started the whole brains, want to eat your brains.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're the first ones to start that. One of my favorite seasons and stuff. He's like, they can smell your brain. It smells so good. And he's turning into like a zombie. It's really good. Phil, you gotta watch Return of the Living Dead. I think you would really like it. Wax says,
"Oh yeah, I'm keen AF to come on with y'all."
Like, you see it already on my screen. I don't even see it up on the thing yet.
You don't see it on the screen? Yeah, it's definitely there.
You gotta get wired in.
I'm wired in. There it is. He says, "Hell yeah, I'm keen enough to come on with y'all." We just gotta get the timing right. I don't want to have you like come on like it's a bad time for you, because I know you're in a different time area and stuff. So we'll see. I'll definitely hit you up. I think I'll hit you up on Instagram. That's the easy way for us to chat. Yeah, we can't wait to do that skit. We have to double up on that. All right, so we got a couple minutes. We're just gonna go over some stuff for people to look forward to. I want to reiterate that on September 26th at 8 p.m. we will be at Alterniverse Comics in Hyde Park or Haviland, New York. At 8 p.m. we invite everybody to come. We're going to be talking about pop culture items with our first episode of Pop Culture Crash. It's a team up of Council of Comics and Toy Games. We want to have a nice little live audience in there. So please come out and join us for that as well. Hello there. Actual Dracula is in the house. Good evening, Dracula. How are you, my friend? Good evening. Thank you for joining us. He says, "Hey, Lee." And Wax says, "Hey, Drac. Thank you for joining us." Actual Dracula is also nominated in the Best Comedic Content Creator. Thank you for being on here. We appreciate you so much. We got to have a stream where all of us are on one stream. Just talking. No particular thing or anything. Just us chatting on where we came from. We might have to get that going. You guys should be reviewing Encino Man. That's a good
Jeez.
movie to watch.
Or Biodome.
That's a great suggestion. He says we can talk
Yeah.
about Encino Man. Very nice. Maybe we'll slide that in there so we can get you in here, actual. Wax says he loves that movie. Yeah. Well, we'll talk about it this week. We'll talk about it this week amongst the council, and then we'll set up a time to do Encino Man, and then we can have Whack and actual Dracula on, and we can do it all together. Very nice. All right. So that's our show for tonight. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. Let me get into these comments over here to see. Give shout outs to everybody that joined on. Shout out to Larry Jackson, who's always a constant in our comments section. Thank you, Larry, for always joining us. Evil's Comics, thank you for joining us. Kamaria, thank you for joining us. Trev, the shipping guru, thank you for joining us. It's always a great pleasure when you come on. Also, shout out to Whack Comics for joining us as well, and Actual Dracula for joining us as well. You guys do great content. Go check out their YouTube channels. They do great stuff. I want to thank everybody for coming on. And there was one more, Joseph Michaels, the Adventurous Joe. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you for being here today. All right. So that's our show. We'll be back next week where we'll be going over Lady Hawk. And we'll get into that whole Encino Man stuff. We're going to set that up with everybody. We want to do that properly. But next week is going to be Lady Hawk. That's your homework for this week, Council. We'll be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. where we go over all the new keys and hot comics of the week coming up for this new comic book day on Wednesday. Remember, we have tons of videos on the channel. The Council in California will... Whoa, what is that? What is that? The Council of California will be cutting out with his last two episodes, episode 9, episode 10. Check that out. We also have comic book pickups where we talk about all the books we picked up at a specific spot, whether we profited or not. It's a good thing to check out as well. And tons of other channels. Plus New Comic Book Day, where we release our new skits and we try to have fun and we talk about all the new picks that we picked up. All right? So we'll be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. New keys and hot comics of the week. For myself, for Phil, for Green Shirt Guy, and for Cliff in Ottawa, Canada. We thank you. We love you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.